What's up everyone, Omega Primus here, and it's been like 1,000 years since I've done a review on a Transformer toy. This is the Wei Jiang Model World 001 Rendsora Oversized Megatron figure from Transformers The Last Knight. Now it's called oversized because this is pretty much a oversized version of the Voyager class Megatron from Transformers The Last Knight. It's made to look like a leader class figure, but it does not have any of the functionality or gimmicks of a leader class figure. It is pretty much just like a Voyager class or Voyager size figure from the Transformers The Last Knight toy line, but it's made to be much, much bigger. And I got this from tfdirect.com. I'll put the link in the description below. So the way I'm going to present this guy is I'm going to do size comparison first, then go into articulation, and then the transformation into his vehicle mode. So I guess I can show off the packaging first before I get into all of that. Here it is from tfdirect.com. The Wei Jiang, which I don't know why it does not say Wei Jiang down there, but this is a Wei Jiang product. Wei Jiang Model World 001 Rendsora, and image of Megatron on the box, which looks awesome. The reason why the corner of the box is crushed is because the way I guess the mailman delivered it to me, I guess he does not like Transformers, and my package, like in the corner, was like completely crushed. Luckily, the figure was fine, so I'm not too upset about that. There's a side view. There's a back view. It shows that you could get his chest and sword in different colors here. Now, I know in other videos, some other people have the chest piece with a translucent red chest piece for the chest, but I got the silver one. His sword, of course, is in translucent red, but it kind of like blends in to like a dark gray paint, which is pretty nice. All right, another view. That's the box. All right, so let's get into size comparison just so you get a good idea of how big this guy is. Alright, so to prove that this guy is definitely no Voyager class figure, I got two Voyager class figures standing next to him. As you can see, this is the Premier Edition Voyager class Optimus Prime from Transformers The Last Knight. And here's the Titans Returns Megatron, Voyager class as well, standing next to the Wei Jiang Model World 001 Megatron. And you can see that the Voyager class figures come up to about his waist area, which is pretty cool. Alright, now let's compare him with other leader classes to see how well he stacks up against them. Alright, so right here I have him in between the Megatron from the first live-action movie and the Megatron from the second movie, Revenge of the Fallen. As you can see, the TF Direct Wei Jiang Transformers The Last Knight definitely stands taller than the other leader class figures, which is pretty cool. In this shot right here, you can see how much bigger he is than Galvatron from Transformers Cybertron, I believe. It's either Cybertron or Armada. No, Armada, he had the that tank form. I believe it was the Cybertron animated series. He was like a giant race car. It was odd, but he looked cool. And here he is next to a leader class Jetwing Optimus Prime from Dark of the Moon. I have to hold his legs here because he is extremely back heavy with that that Jetwing backpack on him, so he will fall over. And yeah, he's much taller than the leader class Optimus Prime, which is also the same mold they used from Revenge of the Fallen. And speaking about Revenge of the Fallen, here's the Fallen himself with Shockwave from Dark of the Moon. And this is the Revenge of the Fallen version of Starscream. And yeah, just like with the other Voyager class figures I showed earlier, they stand up just to about his waist area. Let's see, I do have a Human Alliance Bumblebee here, who... Oh, okay, he's about the size of a Voyager class figure. I thought he was going to be a little bit taller. But let's move Fallen, Starscream, and Shockwave here. Bring in Human Alliance Bumblebee. And as you can see, Megatron still is gigantic. Just for fun, let's bring in the Sam Witwicky figure that came with Human Alliance Bumblebee. And wow. That is a good scale for any tiny human figures you might have in your collection. So now I've compared this guy with a few Leader class figures, Voyager class figures, and not so much deluxe figures because you could pretty much guess they're going to be like super small compared to this guy. I do have a few Supreme class figures, but I'll just compare them with one today in this video, and that is Unicron from Transformers Armada. But if you have not been keeping up with Transformers Armada, you might also recognize Unicron from the original animated movie. And okay, so he's not bigger than Unicron. As you can see, Unicron still towers over this guy, which is pretty damn awesome. Alright, so let's get into the articulation of this guy. And once again, this does not have any of the features of the Leader class figure. This is just an oversized version of the Voyager class figure. So this does not have the face mask feature like the Leader class version does. It would have been nice if they would have added that, but this sculpt and this model just looks fantastic the way it is. There is no light piping on the figure, so if you hold it up to the light, there's no... his eyes are not going to light up or anything. His head can move left and right. It feels like it's on a sort of a ball joint. So you could kind of like tilt it up or just tilt it at like a steady angle like that. And of course it can rotate all the way around as part of his transformation, which I will get into after I show off the rest of his articulation. The arms are pretty sweet. Let me zoom out of here. There we go. So with arms, of course, up and down, you can move it all the way up like that. Same with this side. And what's cool about the movement in his arms is in the shoulders, because you could go like that or go like that, and it's not really hindered by these panels because you could move the panels out of the way like that to give him more range of movement, which is cool. And of course he does move at the elbows. As you can hear those tight ratcheted joints in there, which is really nice. Alright, so full range of movements. Ratcheted elbows, which is pretty cool. And the wrist swivel, I believe. I'm not sure if it has wrist swivel for the fist. Let's see. It does. Check that out. So if I go to the other side where he's holding the sword, you could have him tilting it like this. You could also rotate the sword around like that, which is pretty nice. As for the sword, if you do not want him holding it, you can store it on his back. If you just kind of like move that up a little and see that hole right there, you just want to place the sword in there like that, and you have a storage place for Megatron's sword, which is pretty cool. Alright, so let me move the sword out of the way for now. So I went over his arms. There's his cannon there. His fusion cannon, or whatever name you want to give it. There's no gimmicks on this figure, so there's no missiles that fire out of there or anything like that. Alright. Let's see, rotates. Yeah, these also rotate like that at the bicep area. Down to his legs now. Let's zoom out a little bit more. Alright. Okay. So of course there is no waist articulation, so he does not swivel at the waist. But for his legs, you can move them forward and back about that much. Can't move them back all the way because it's hindered by some of the parts, like right there. If you want, you know, you could move these panels around his waist. You could like move them out the way so you can, you know, get more full range of movement with his legs. You could have him doing a full split. You could bend his knees and make it look like he's doing like a kick, or he's about to do a kick, like that. I wonder if I could balance him on one leg. That would be pretty sweet. Let's see if this could possibly happen today on camera. Check that out. That is pretty cool. All right. So yeah, forward and back. They also swivel right there. Got nice ratcheted knee joints right there. And for his ankle joints, they kind of pivot like that, sort of. Not by much. It's part of his transformation, so that's why they're able to move like that. And I think the feet are made out of die-cast metal, but everything else is in plastic. Unless I'm wrong, then feel free to correct me in the comments below. Alright, so let's transform the Wei Jiang MW-001 Megatron from Transformers The Last Knight. Oh, and I apologize. Real quick, here is the instruction sheet that comes with the figure. As you can see, it's in full color, and it looks way more detailed than the instruction sheets you get from the actual Hasbro figures. Alright, so I just thought I would show that off to show you guys what the instruction sheet looks like. So, I'm not going to do this in any particular order. I'm just going to pretty much do the best I can here. So, what you want to do first, you see this part under his forearm? There's a panel there that just lifts up, and you could fold his fist in there. There we go. Same with the other side. Move that panel and move the fist into there. Close that. And bring the arms up like this. Like that, okay? So he has his arms up in the air. So I'm going to zoom out a little bit. Okay, I had to adjust the angle of the camera here. So next you want to take his head and rotate it around like that. Now his arms are going to come back down and fold up together and everything, and you're probably wondering why they have to move up like that in the first place. And it's so you can take these chest panels on the side here and kind of like, there we go. There we go. Disconnect them like that, okay? So next, let's go down to the legs. Alright, so let's move these panels real quick so I have more room to work with the legs here. Now with the legs, super easy. You just want to rotate them inward like that. These parts untab, so you just want to kind of untab it right there from his legs, and they will fold out to be his wings. Like so. Alright. Bend his knees about that much. About 2 notches, which is good. And of course his feet right there are going to fold up underneath the wing, but you want to make sure the bottom part of his feet is going to be flushed with the bottom part of his wings there. So what you want to do is just hold it like that and just rotate it completely around like so. So let me turn this around so you can see what that looks like. Right? So I'll do the same thing with this feet right here. Just want to rotate the whole thing so it looks like that. And then you could take his legs or his bottom part of his feet and just rotate them under the wings. Now there are tabs under there to help you tab the wing into place of the feet, but they stay in place just fine anyways. It's up to you if you want to tab them into place. Alright, so how much do I actually remember of the instructions? Oh man. These, I know, these fold out. You could rotate them out like that. Same with this side. So like these are the panels that kind of like hang off his waist, so you could just move it up like that and move the rest of the engine or turbine out like that, whatever you want to call that. All right. So if I can remember, this front nose cone of his vehicle mode is going to go over his head. So what you want to do is take the nose cone of his vehicle mode, just move it up like that. That way it will give you clearance to take this entire back panel and kind of flip it around like so. So I'm going to get to these arms, but I want to get to the nose cone first. So the nose cone, you want to make sure you take this part and kind of like fold it up like that before you bring it over his head, all right? Because if you try to do it like this and then fold that nose cone, it's not going to work, all right? So you want to make sure you flip it correctly like that first, and then bring it over his head, and there's tabs to connect it into place, all right? So the arms, this is the part that confused me last time. Oh boy, huh. Let's see if I can remember how to do the arms. So what I'm gonna do is do this, rotate them down. All right, like so. Let me move the camera angle like that. Okay. Now the fusion cannon can rotate inward like that as part of its transformation, but also you want to take that front part of the cannon, that part right there, and you want to fold that in like that, all right? Then, let's see, move that cannon like so. Yeah, you want to move that to the side like I just did, like that. Then you want to fold everything into place, all right? There's a tab to connect the arms together like that. For the legs, let me just move those out of the way so everything has room to come down and fit into place just nicely, like so. All right, so as you can see, everything is coming together just lovely. At least I hope so. Let's see. I think... yeah, let me just move the wings so they're sticking out like that. There we go. Now, I did not transform this guy a lot off camera. I only transformed him twice. I thought I got the hang of it. As you can see, I'm still like, what do I do? But, you know, as I go along with the transformation, I kind of figure out what I'm doing correctly and what I'm doing wrong here. I believe there was more. Yeah, okay. Like these parts right here, they could actually tab into those holes. Alright, so you're going to notice a slight jump in editing here. That's because I had to fiddle around with this entire piece to make sure everything's flushed together and nicely, you know, able to fit up with these panels here. So that's the only slightly difficult part. It's not too difficult. It's just sometimes when you're transforming it to his vehicle mode, it can be somewhat of a hassle. But as you can see, I finally got it up to where these panels could peg in there like so. And there we go. Everything would be kind of flushed. There we go. So that's what it's supposed to look like from the bottom. Flip him around, and I believe I have him transformed correctly. Let me look at the wings once again. Sometimes you want to mess around with the legs so you can straighten out the wings to your liking, like that. You could also, you know, have them at this angle if you want. I think it's a matter of preference. It's all up to you. As for me, I like to have them like, kind of like straighten out like that. So let's look at the instruction sheet to see if the wings are supposed to be, yeah, okay, they're supposed to be out like that. I could have swore they were like kind of like folded inward a little bit from some pictures I've seen, but no, this looks fantastic. Now, on the instruction sheet, it says to place the sword on top of his jet mode like this, but I don't really like it that way because it covers up most of the detail on his jet mode. As you can see, it's covering up most of his cockpit there and this engine area. So what I like to do is take his sword and just rotate it around this way, because I think it looks better placed that way. And here I thought it would be nice to give you guys a aerial view or top-down view of Megatron's vehicle mode. Now if I bring the camera in here, you can see some of the Cybertronian writings on his jet mode. As you can see, it's on his wings as well, which is pretty cool detail they added to him. And just for fun, here he is compared to Poe Dameron's X-Wing from The Force Awakens. Just to give you guys an idea of the scale of his vehicle mode. And I'll stand them up next to each other too. And here they are, stood up side by side. Of course, the Poe Dameron X-Wing is a little bit longer because of his nose cone right there. But there's a nice comparison view. Alright, so this concludes my review for the Wei Jiang MW-001 Rendsora Oversized Megatron. I believe I said all of that correctly. And I got this from tfdirect.com. I'll leave the link down below so you guys could check out that site. They sell a bunch of different cool knockoff third-party Transformers for people to buy. And I got this Megatron for around $44. I don't know if it's the same price right now, but you could check out the link below and, you know, check out a bunch of cool third-party Transformers that you might want to add to your collection. Now, I gave up on the live-action movies after the third one. So I have not been keeping up with the live-action movies lately, but when it comes to Transformers like merchandise, like the toys, I still am somewhat of a collector of them. So yeah, when it comes to the movies, I pretty much don't follow those anymore, and I'm talking about the Michael Bay ones, but I have been collecting Transformers for a very long time, and yeah, when it comes to the products, I still collect a few here and there, and I thought Megatron's design for the latest movie looked really cool, and that's why I wanted to buy his toy. At first, I was going to wait for the Voyager class figure. I wanted him more than the leader class, and I found out that tfdirect.com was selling a much bigger version of that guy for like around $44, which is affordable, which is also good because it's not too expensive. All right, yeah. So check out tfdirect.com. Link is in the description below. And thanks for watching. I will see you guys whenever I upload another video review. Later.